as you all know, collective impact has been criticized as being too top-down and not in touch with local communities. And so we began this work by interviewing our members to figure out how they approach community engagement through collective impact, and then we came up with a rough synthesis paper of the different options for working with communities through collective impact. Once we spoke with these individuals, we decided to talk with other practitioners in the field, including folks at Tamarack, to refine this thinking on community engagement and to make sure that what we were found resonated with the field. So what we're presenting today is a summary that we came up with. And once we actually created this research synthesis, we decided to create an e-course using the different resources that we offered. And this e-course was free of charge. And we worked with around 2,500 registrants to see if what the synthesis of research resonated with them. And based on our initial data analysis, we found that in fact these approaches that I'm about to speak on did resonate with folks. Again, I'm going to briefly go over some of the findings from the research that we did on community engagement and collective impact. And before I go into more detail, I'll give a brief overview of those findings. So our research and our conversations with practitioners highlighted the need to consider three main components of working with community members in collective impact. The first component is this question around the why. Before doing any work with community members, it's important to figure out why you are doing this work. But once these goals have been set, that we found that was not enough to effectively work with community members, and that even collective impact initiatives with a clear understanding of why they want to work with community members still struggle to engage with community groups effectively. And so there was a need to focus on the strengthening the capacity of a collective impact initiative across two different dimensions. The first dimension is around what we're calling amplifying the voice of community, and the second is around building feedback loops with community members. So I'll talk about each of these components in turn. So first, this question of why. This is a really important question because community engagement means different things to different people. To some, it's about grassroots organizing, town hall meetings, board leadership, things like that. And to some people, community engagement is this very static process where you can do community engagement, check the box, and move on and get on with it. Of course, this is really not true. You really need to be clear about why you want to work with community members and who you want to do that work with. And there's a lot of reasons why this is important, but primarily it's important because community is never a monolith. You're never working just with one community with a unified thinking around goals and strategies. Instead, community is very diverse. Different groups have different motivations, and you're going to be working with these groups for different reasons. So it's important to be very clear about your goals for engaging specific community groups and the reasons why you're engaging with those groups. One example of this setting these goals and deciding these strategies, it comes from a collective impact initiative we support in Albuquerque, which has really effectively involved and actively involved community members in identifying how the city can encourage entrepreneurship, but they haven't really made community members a central part of their formal governance structure because they decided that was not a part of their goals. Instead, they decided that community input should shape the direction of the initiative and the strategies that they approach with the initiative, but they didn't need the community to be on the governance team, which was really primarily in charge of implementation. Instead, the implementation strategy was set by leaders that had an understanding of the relationships and dynamics of the city government and local economy of Albuquerque.